Brandon Benefield, Gerard Bonner, and Diana Michelle.
What's going on, everybody? It's that time of the week. It's Friday. You know what that means. We are back. We might have taken a week off. Hey, it's summertime. We went on vacation. See, you see Diana's shirt there. Hold my hash browns because we're back. And yeah, it's the SHW podcast. This is our wrestling B-double Brandon Benefield, the great Gerard Bonner, and the beautiful Diana Michelle sporting the custom. I don't know. Actually, I heard they might make some more for the next show.
Mm-hmm.
Did I see
they're doing another run?
Yeah, All-Star Special, because these shirts were so popular and they sold out in no time. In fact, I ordered one and they sold the one that I bought. So anyways, they got to be bringing me mine at some point.
I customized mine.
But anyways,
Get them sleeves off.
Oh, you're showing the guns. I love it.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. The gun show.
The gun show. Bang, bang.
But we're bang, bang. We're back. And yeah, it's summertime, taking a little vacation. GB, before we get too far in, we know you were having a good time last week. We saw some pictures and video. You were in Vegas. Tell us about it, man. How was it?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was in Vegas. So it was time for the Stellar Awards, which is the gospel music award show, kind of similar to the Grammys. And so I was honored at one of the shows that were happening prior to the main show, just for my work in that field. And so most people don't know kind of what I've done or what I do outside of this. So it was a lot of fun to get a chance to just connect with some folks that I hadn't seen in a while. And yeah, it was a really fun time, haven't posted everything yet, but I'll be posting a lot more. You've probably seen more since last week, but it was amazing. It was a lot of fun. I don't generally talk a lot about me and the stuff that I do and things of that nature, but it was a lot of fun. And I think it's always, as we have come to discover, whenever you're working hard in something, it's always good to know that you have made some degree of an impact. And so to be able to see that kind of happen was a really, really cool moment. So yeah, a lot of fun.
This guy's winning awards all over the place.
All over the place.
I love it, man.
That's just what we can.
That's even better for us. It's just how it shows how lucky we are to have you as part of this team and a part of the commentary and announce team for SHW. So very cool, man. Congratulations on that honor. And
appreciate it.
Now we move on to another big event.
Big one.
We got the Rumble Jack coming up August 4th, which is right around the corner. So that means next week on this very show, we will be previewing the upcoming Rumble Jack. I know this month.
Sure, let me get my calendar. Sure.
But before we do that, because we took off last week, we have to recap SHW52, which was our most recent show. And if you haven't seen it, it is indeed already on IWTV. So go check it out.
About within 5 days.
Laser fast.
You know what happens once you start shooting on IWTV? You got to get the show posted pretty quick.
Yeah, suddenly they go, oh, here.
I think what it was SHW management wanted to make sure that they saw Gary's promo in a timely fashion. And actually, you know what? Before we get into like the match card, I know this is a little out of order, but let's just get into it with Gary in this promo, which involved Cruel, who we are claiming as the independent world champion, the rightful champion, even though they, I guess, stripped him of the title when he got injured, and now they claim somebody else, Matt Tremont, is the champion. Well, we still claim Cruel as the champ. So, like Cruel or not, you know, you look back on his time in SHW and his Dishonor and his other various forms, he may not have been the most likable. But when it comes to, it's kind of like what Gary said. Now they're messing with, he's part of the SHW family, and now you're messing with our family, and so we got to stand up for family. So I feel like Vin Diesel here. It's all about family. But anyways, so yeah, so let's touch on that a little bit. GB, what was your impressions here of Gary coming out and just shoot from the hip on IWTV, the very streaming service that shows all of our big shows?
You know, whenever Gary posts on the socials that he has something to say, it's always must-see TV. You never know which way he's going to go. You remember a couple of months ago, he was talking about he was trying to decide whether or not he'd continue SHW, right? Like all of these kinds of things, and you just never know what he's going to say. So when he posted that he had something to say that he's been waiting to say about IWTV, this really got my interest. And he had a lot to say. And the thing is, it was honestly hard to argue with him.
Right.
Like, you can't argue with the fact that when our shows end up on IWTV, they don't exactly, make a big deal about it. If you have the IWTV app, there are all sorts of notifications that come through when this show is on live or when this show is posted or whatever. And there's never really a whole lot of noise when our shows post, yet they are some of the most popular shows. And he's absolutely right that in terms of watching the other shows on that network, our shows are head and shoulder. Like, it's not even a comparison, in terms of the quality, the production value, the matches. There's no comparison between us and any other show on IWTV. And so it was almost like the elephant that's been in the room for 3 years that he finally decided to open up and say something about. Made me a little nervous because, they're the network that houses us. And so, like, I would hate for them to go, hey, we're taking you off. But he did that and stood in support of Cruel. And you got to know that's a big deal because he and Cruel have been at odds for obviously a very long time. And but like you said, when you start talking family, it's literally us against the world. So yeah, I'm here for it. And I'll just say this to the folks at IWTV. I hope you didn't think that was designed just to get your attention. He said what he said. He meant what he said. And I'll go so far as to say all of what Southern Honor does stands head and shoulders above what is currently on an IWTV. Pick a promotion, any promotion. I'll put anybody from our team, our commentary team, our ring announcer, our stage hands, our camera people. I'll put them all up against anybody else on your network. You should honor what we say. You should be honored to have Southern Honor on your platform, quite frankly, because we're making you guys look good.
Boom. Mic drop. I know the mic is hooked up there, but if it was not, you could just drop it right there.
There it is.
I tell you what, man, here's something else that was interesting after SHW52. And I don't know if you guys saw this, you may have, but on social media, Gary made a post. So at the Rumblejack every year, the winner of the actual Rumblejack match becomes the #1 contender for the Southern Honor Championship.
Yeah.
Gary went as far to say that, hey, you know what? Maybe I might even give them the option. They could be the #1 contender for the SHW title or to Cruel's IWTV world title. He goes, I don't even know if I can do that. But hey, when has that ever stopped Gary before? So
Never, ever.
Who knows? I haven't heard anything else from SHW management about that. Again, we will be previewing the Rumblejack next week on this very show. So by then, maybe we'll know a little more details about that, if that's even going to be a thing.
Right.
But I found that very interesting. I thought,
That's quite interesting.
Because if you notice, there are several wrestlers. Ashton Starr comes to mind as one of the more prominent ones that have been very vocal over the last couple of weeks on social media, saying that they're gunning for Cruel and the IWTV world title.
Right.
I would love to see that one-on-one matchup in an SHW ring. But kind of on that note, we ended up seeing an impromptu fatal four-way match for the IWTV World Championship. I know I'm going out of order, but since we were just talking about Gary's promo, might as well jump into this match. It was Cruel, and then Cruel was interrupted. Help me out with the interruptions here. Did Sunny Days interrupted first?
Correct.
Then Hunter James interrupted.
Correct.
Then Ashton Starr interrupted.
Correct.
And Gary just said, you know what? Make it a fatal four-way match. Have at it, boys. And we were stunned. An impromptu IWTV World Championship match, and not just any match, but a fatal four-way with four very great wrestlers. And Hunter James, I tell you what, this kid, he's young. He's got the charisma. He's got the in-ring talent.
Arrogant.
He's very arrogant, and we know our share of wrestlers who are very arrogant.
We do.
But a lot of times they can back it up in the ring when they have to. I just think that this kid, at some point, he might be the. We talked about Shoot Taylor. We talked about a handful of other guys that could be the future of this, not just this company, but of the wrestling business. And I think Hunter James is on that short list, at least in the state of Georgia. But Sunny Days, of course, was out there because he's got a bone to pick with Cruel after what happened to the previous show, where Cruel was his tag team partner. I guess you would say he turned on Sunny, put Sunny through a couple of tables, one of them on purpose. I think another one inadvertently at one point. Yeah. But so Sunny had a bone to pick.
Siblings fighting when that happened. So I mean,
and they are, because at one point in time they were as close as brothers, and it definitely seemed like two brothers just bickering and not getting along. And Cruel walked out on Sunny, and so anyway, Sunny was there. He had a bone to pick. Hunter was there. Hunter was claiming he just wanted them to hand over the title.
Yeah, he didn't want to fight. He just wanted the title. Yeah.
And then, of course, Ashton, who, if you follow him on social media over the last couple of weeks, like I said, has really been pushing for a shot here. And of anybody that we know, I feel like Ashton is very top of the list of people that have earned it and deserve it, a shot that is at this title. So he was out there. And then, of course, what a great four-way match it was. But Cruel retaining the IWTV World Championship. What did we think of all this? First of all, Diana, what were your thoughts? All of a sudden, we have this impromptu World Championship match.
You know what my thoughts were. Don't screw this up. I mean, it was impromptu, like you said. It's like, wait a minute. It's a fatal four-way, which I failed to say. Who cares? Y'all knew what it was. If you don't need to be watching wrestling anyway. To get in that ring and have to announce another World Championship match was nerve-wracking, especially when Cruel's standing right there breathing in my direction, and just that whole presence was one thing. And then, of course, Ashton and Hunter and Sunny and Gary being Gary and just everything. I was nervous, but I got through it. The match was amazing. It ended like I expected it. It really did. But yes, I think that the best contender was Ashton. I'm with you. I feel like he's due for a #1 contendership of the IWE World Championship, for real. Yes.
I agree. Totally agree. Yeah, great match. Great match. Another month with an impromptu championship match.
Yeah.
All the more reason why you guys have to come to the show, because last month, it was all of a sudden we got 2 SHW title matches out of nowhere. Now we get an IWTV World title match out of nowhere. Anything can happen in these SHW streets. And so, yeah, the title match was incredible. I'll go so far as to say, certainly one of the more entertaining IWTV World title matches we've seen in quite some time. And again,
has there ever been a fatal four-way for the IWTV World Championship?
I'll have to double check to find that out.
Are we the first?
But what I do know is, I think it's really interesting that, AC Mack, of course, we know about his title run. The man to end that title run was Cruel. And so to consider that 2 of the best IWTV World Champions are homegrown at Southern Honor speaks volumes. Yeah, I think it speaks volumes. And so clearly, Cruel is a fighting champion, defending the title that night, completely unplanned, walked out as the winner. IWTV, get with the program, recognize the real world champion.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can't wait to see what comes next for the IWTV World Champion, Cruel. And
I wonder, do you think he potentially enters the Rumble, Jack?
I'm very curious about that. Okay. And here's the thing. We'll touch on this again next week when we do the preview show. Throughout this week, you've seen some of the posts. If you're not following us on social media, I don't know shame on you, because I don't know why not. In fact, you have to be, because you're watching us right now. So I think you should be.
Unless you're brand new and you just stumbled on us,
Well, yeah, but check the socials. We've been posting some entrants. We've been posting some big matches that are going to be coming up on August 4th at the Rumble Jack. Next week, we will continue posting some more entrants, some more big matches, and more big surprises and whatnot. So I have yet to see Cruel, though, to what you just asked. I have yet to see a graphic that shows that he is an entrant. That doesn't mean we won't see one between now and August 4th. So your guess is as good as mine. But I
Just
mean,
get it for fun.
Who's to say he can't be the IWTV World Champion and then earn a #1 contender spot to face
SHW
whoever it may be,
I'm telling
whether
you,
it's Judas
Cruel
or
and
whoever.
Judas, it's gotta happen. It's gotta happen.
Be huge.
Sooner or later. I don't know if it's a result of the Rumble Jack or not, but it's
Yeah. Could be huge. Could be huge, both figuratively and literally.
Literally. Absolutely.
So we will see. But yeah, I'm excited to see what's next for that IWTV World Championship. And maybe we have more title matches in our future at the SHW shows. Stay tuned and find out. But let's get back to the match order here as the show started. Our SHW Tag Team Champions, the Hierarchy, Joe Black, Murder One, taking on the Akuto Death. I almost said Death Squad. It's the Akuto Death Society. I worked so hard the other night too to not say it wrong. I didn't say it wrong at the show. I almost said it wrong just now, but anyways, Akuto Death Society. That is Kevin Ryan and Chris Crunk. Kevin Ryan, the inaugural SHW champion, returning for the first time in over a year. I think it was February of 22 when he got injured in the ring at an SHW show, and this was his first time back since then. Chris Crunk, he had appeared at SHW one time way back in the day in singles competition. I think it was against maybe Corey Hollis. But anyways, so some people remember him from that. Of course, these two have been a tag team all over the place, but this was the debut of their tag team in SHW.
Yeah.
So it was exciting. I think the crowd gave a pretty good reception to Kevin Ryan coming back. After all, he is the inaugural champ since our very first show. And it was good to have him back. However, I just didn't feel good for their chances against Joe Black and Murder One. Now, this was not an actual title match. However, if Kevin Ryan and Chris Crunk won the match, it was like an eliminator match. We talked about that, GB. If they won the match, then they would earn a title match.
Yeah.
And well, problem is they didn't get past that first match. So, but hey, what a way to kick off the show. And then, and let you guys give your opinions on that match, but also touch on what Joe Black had to say after the match.
Yes. First, I was familiar with the name Chris Crunk. I have never actually seen him wrestle. And I say that because I said the same thing about Chip. I knew a lot. I heard a lot about Chip, but I'd never actually seen him wrestle before he came to SHW. Now, he's my favorite. Don't know that Chris is going to make it to that rank with me, but at the same time, I was impressed with their tag team. I thought they worked well together. I thought they can accomplish a lot. Not that night, not against the Hierarchy, but I was impressed with how they worked. Joe and Murder, we already knew. We already talked about it. They were coming away. They were not going to lose that match, and I wasn't shocked, but I was impressed. I'd like to see Akuto Death Society come back, maybe help build up the tag division in SHW. But yeah, too bad, so sad. But good showing.
Yeah, I would agree. A very good showing. I was certainly impressed by the tag team continuity there of the Akuto Death Society. And they were really, really good. And I think perhaps, they had moments where they were close to winning that tag match, which was very, very impressive. So shout out to them. And I definitely don't want to discount what they did, because I really do think that they provided a significant challenge to the tag team champions, so much so until you can kind of tell after the match, the tag champs were kind of like, ooh,
yeah,
all right, y'all were all right, but I think it's what happened after that we all really are kind of like wow about, which is Joe Black saying what we have said on this podcast for months now. Now it's fine. I felt like maybe that was the theme of this show. Like all of the things that we had been saying or feeling finally all come out at SHW52. This one, Joe Black tells the world that there's really only one team that deserves a shot the tag team titles, and that is All-Star Special. Now, if you follow us, and we'll obviously talk about this far more in depth next week, but if you follow All-Star Special and you're new, you like All-Star Special with the singing and dancing and the hash browns and the hold my beer and we're singing and we're dancing and all those cool things. But if you follow SHW history, you know there's a lot of history between Joe Black and William Huckabee. It has been a long time since we've seen them in a ring together one way or another. The idea
or a parking lot.
Or a parking lot, right? Or someone's car. You know, the idea that these two men.
It was Brandon's car.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, it's triggering. I know.
Yeah.
The idea that we could see these guys, and we will. Just trust me when I tell you. Tune in next week because we're going to get you all squared away. But needless to say, it got us extremely excited about the potential of this title match.
Yes. I can't wait. And again, like I said, we've seen a few announcements already this week. That one was made official, that tag team title match. Can't wait. Woo! Like you said, GB, we'll do the whole preview show next week, but can't wait for that one. And that's on top of the massive Rumble check itself. Anyways, it's going to be a crazy show. August 4th, folks. August 4th. Don't miss it. Moving on down the card. Movie Mike returned for a Rumble Jack qualifier match against an SHW newcomer. However, not a newcomer to the business. What would we say, like 2 decades in the business at this point? Cabana Man Dan, been all over the place, all over the country, all over the Southeast especially. Finally made his way into SHW. I'm sort of familiar with Cabana Man Dan. I knew about the flip-flop chop and all this stuff. I knew he was fun and exciting, and I couldn't wait to see him. And, man, he put up a great match. Didn't quite pull it off, but I will say these guys were entertaining and put on a really fun match. Even the way they started the match, where you saw Movie Mike try and call action. He had the movie slate. He's trying to call action. You had Cabana Man Dan with the flip-flops, and he's yelling cut. And they're going back and forth. And, I mean, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. But, again, Cabana Man Dan, unfortunately. Here's the thing. I would like to say, hey, hopefully we'll see him in the Rumble Jack. However, this was a Rumble Jack qualifier match, and he did not win. So I don't think we'll be seeing him. But hopefully we see him in the future back at SHW because he was a lot of fun. But your thoughts on this matchup?
I like Cabana Man Dan. I do. Before I saw him, I'm going to tell you, I had a visualization that maybe his character was going to be a lot like Rob Schneider in 51st Dates. Do you feel me on that? But not with a crooked eye and all the craziness. But just when he was sitting in the diner and he had the coconut bra thing and the wig and he was trying to play Drew Barrymore's character, remind her who she was. I was like, okay, he's going to be really fun. But he was not anything like that, guys. But he was very entertaining, very good to watch. And I like the flip-flop chop. I like it. Movie Mike, though, y'all, that obsession with Ashton is freaky. It's freaky. I mean, I'm borderline worried about Ashton and if he's got somebody watching his back when he's not in the ring, because I'm disturbed.
The irony that they call him Movie Mike and he's shooting a movie from what they tell me, not realizing that who he is, there actually was a movie made for him. It's called Fatal Attraction. And that's exactly what I think about. Listen, this is what I think about Movie Mike, because his obsession with Ashton, it has gone to a level that I never expected. And he even interjected himself, and you could make the argument we'll talk about that at some point. But, I wondered whether or not he would be focused on this match because of his obsession with Ashton. Now I actually believe he felt the need to qualify for the Rumble Jack to show Ashton that he's serious, to show Ashton that, hey, I could be fighting for the SHW championship, a title that you once held. So take me seriously. Pay attention to me.
But take him seriously for what, though, GB? That's what I'm wondering. What does he want?
I don't know.
What does he want with Ashton? I mean, he did interfere with the Fatal 4-Way. He did.
He did. And you could argue that he somewhat cost Ashton the IWTV World Championship.
He hit him with the chair. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. So it's almost like you can't have the world title or anything else until you deal with me first.
Mm-hmm.
Hence Movie Mike. It's an obsession, and he'll stop at nothing to get whatever he wants. And I'm still waiting to figure out what that something is. If
Right.
Tell us.
He's wanting him to be a part of Pandora Productions or opposed Pandora Productions. I don't understand.
Well, he wanted to be his +1 the other show, and I don't know. I mean, you don't usually bring random people in as a +1. It's usually
exactly why
someone you
Ashton
value
didn't show up.
Exactly.
Well, we talked to Ashton briefly before the show, before SHW52 backstage, and he's even saying like, I don't know who this guy is. What does he even want?
What does he want?
You know, I was like, well, your guess is as good as mine. I thought maybe you knew. I didn't know.
Creepy.
So who knows? But all we do know is that Movie Mike got the victory, and he will move on. He's an entrant in the Rumblejack, his first ever Rumblejack. So we'll see. We'll see what he can do. And again, like you said, if he's still too focused on Ashton, it may come back to bite him, because he's going to have a whole lot more people in that match to pay attention to.
Yes, he will.
Than just a one-on-one with Cabana Man Dan. So
that's right.
We'll see what happens. But the next matchup on the card was the big Fatal 4-Way match. Gary came out for his big promo, and then that evolved in the Fatal 4-Way. We already talked about that. And as you mentioned, Movie Mike came out and interfered. And yeah, you could say he cost Ashton a shot. So that's why I feel like I want to see Ashton one-on-one with Cruel.
Yeah.
And give him a fair shake here to see what he can do. But we'll see. Who knows? Following that, we had our women's division. Danny Jordan making her in-ring return for the first time since Still Here 3. So we're talking a couple years, and she's finally making her in-ring return. She's been back a few times here and there for various reasons, but this time back in the ring, taking on newcomer Jada Stone, who was very, very impressive.
Yes.
And what a hard-fought match this was, GB. What'd you think?
I thought it was a great match. You guys know I'm very high on Jada Stone, and I'm very, very excited that she got to make her SHW debut. I can't wait to hear, Diana, what you thought about her. But I definitely thought this was a great match. I thought Danny was definitely tested, and I want to see Jada come back. I think she's another fixture that could really do some special things here in SHW. Again, Danny's not had very many matches since Still Here 3 anywhere. So, you know, her first time back in a ring in SHW, and she was in the best shape we've ever seen her. I mean, there's no arguing that. Her timing was on, you know, and I think in this first time ever meeting, both ladies really, really impressed.
Definitely. Seeing Jada for the first time was something I was looking forward to. She was impressive. Good Lord, she backflipped off the top turnbuckle. I was just standing with my mouth open, like, what in the world? This girl, her athleticism. And
wait, are you telling me you can't do that, Diana? You can't do that?
Dude, I'd be glad. No. I'm not going to do a roll-up.
I have a hard enough time stepping into the ring, just getting through the ropes.
Funny.
I'm not catching air for nothing. Sorry.
That's so funny.
Not doing it.
Yeah,
no.
That's hilarious.
No. She's a gymnast, right? Or was?
Yes. Cheerleader.
Softball player?
Yes.
Okay, because I could kind of get that vibe, that softball body build, whatever. But yeah, she was very impressive. I after knowing that and seeing just a little bit of that she could do when she got in, I was like, oh yes, it's gonna be fun. Now, Danny, like you said, she has not had a whole lot of matches since she's been back, but I have witnessed a couple of matches. Like I said, she was at MomoCon. To go on Spider-Man and you know, that whole thing. So
talk about impromptu matches.
Exactly. She's been in the gym. She's been ripping it up. I mean, she looks great. You know, she don't have any ring rust. She's she looks great. I mean, she's really a lot better than what she was before she got hurt and left out for a while. So this match to me was great. I'd love to see Jada be a part of the roster. I'd love to see them go again. As we're building the women's roster, I would love to see that. But yeah, I was very impressed by this match, totally, on both sides. Both sides. I mean, Danny didn't leave anything lacking, and Jada just brought it. She brought it. It was good.
It was awesome, and that actually brings us to, here's the thing. There were several things that happened at this show that were big highlights, that were huge moments.
Yes.
Possibly my favorite moment ever in SHW history. I don't know if I'll go that far, but there's a lot of big moments in SHW history, but this was a really
top three.
It was a top moment. Exotic Youth, those scumbags took on All-Star Special and Cyrus the Destroyer in 6-man tag team action, and they got destroyed, and it was beautiful. Oh, I loved it.
Even after the match completely getting destroyed, Bryce just fanny beat.
Oh, it was so good. It was so good. I could go on and on. I don't want to just gush over it so much, but I want to hear what you guys think. And talk to us about, either one of you, talk to us about the return, the in-ring return, officially, of All-Star Special. And the Canton Youth Choir was back in full effect. Oh, it was great. You guys, what your thoughts?
First of all, they sang one of my favorite songs, Living on a Prayer. The whole place was erupting, waiting on that chorus to hit. And I'd be dang if Exotic Youth didn't screw it up for everybody. I mean, just broke everybody's heart, like they love to do. But that's all right. It's okay.
They got to do it in the end.
They did, and it was amazing. The air guitar with Hanson all the way out to the curtain. I mean, that if you have not seen that, that is worth buying on WTV and watching it right now. Not right now because you're watching us, but later.
Yeah. GB, before you give your thoughts, I do just want to point something out real quick. So as I have gone back and watched the last show already on IWTV, the issue I have with that, with the camera was focused on Hanson doing his air guitar solo.
Yes.
What the camera didn't see was that Bryce was right in front of our table trying to swat at me with the paddle. And I'm yelling, "Get to the backstage area, punk!" Blah 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 blah.
You can hear it. You can hear it.
You can hear it, but you don't know who I'm talking to, and it almost seems like I'm saying it about Hanson.
Anybody who knows the story knows it was.
So I just want to clarify for anybody that might have been confused. The reason I'm saying that is not to Hanson. It was because Bryce was confronting us at the table. And I just want to make sure that's clear, because as I watched it, I laughed to myself because I was like, it looks like I'm saying it about Hanson, but I wasn't. So
was he swatting, or was he trying to just get up and make his way?
He was just kind of doing one of those, like, I'm going to get you kind of things. Because I was going, oh, poor Bryce, what happened? Blah, blah, blah.
I did the same thing.
Yeah. So anyways,
I want to say poor Jeremy. Jeremy was like tending to a ring full of youngins, little children, by himself. He just got frustrated and just got out of the ring at one point. Am I wrong there?
No,
he just got out completely and was just like, whatever.
GB, you even said at one point, I think it was during that match, where you said we almost need a second ref out here at ringside to kind of keep tabs on what's what, because it's hard for one ref to keep tabs on all 6 guys.
When you got 3 little twats, just whatever, just
tots, I think is what. Tater tots. We'll go with tots, I think is I'll get that.
No, leave that right there.
Yeah. That, my friends, is what we call a Freudian slip.
Oh, that's great. That reminds me of another thing I did years ago.
Reminds you?
I said something really wild and didn't know what I said when I thought I called Hanson the Cougar King.
You
and
I did
something else. So,
but you said Cougar King.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
So, that's why I'm like, we all have our moments. It's all.
Oh my God, I'm sweating.
Wow.
Good times.
Wow, that's great.
So what are your thoughts, GB?
Yeah, GB, your thoughts on the match?
Well, it's a moment that we've been waiting to see for many years is the return, or almost a year, the return of All-Star Specials.
Woo!
They are back. They couldn't have come back in a better time in a 6-man tag against Exotic Youth. Great moments. Yeah, I mean, it happened the way we all thought it would, the way definitely you guys wanted it to happen.
Yes.
A big win there for Cyrus and All-Star Special. And yeah, it was quite the night.
And it was good. It was all good. It was so good.
Quite the night. So yeah.
So good to have the All-Star Special back in the house.
Back where they belong.
Yes.
Oh, what a night. What a night. And then we still had 3 big old matches after that. So we had another Rumblejack qualifier match. This time, I almost said the working team captain, but I don't think we can call him that anymore.
No.
Because he's kind of doing his own thing now. He doesn't care about the working team. He doesn't care about the people. So Owen Knight going 1-on-1 with shoot, Taylor. And yeah. What should have been, and up to a certain point, was a really good match until Owen had to stoop to a certain level to cheat to win, basically. And I will say, I don't really want to defend him here, but I will say when it comes to getting into the Rumblejack, it's almost like win at all costs. I just hate to see that he had to win in that way. And I hate to see that Shoot Taylor, who, again, you say it all the time, GB, future of the business. A kid's got everything it takes to be the next big thing here.
Yeah.
I think deserves to be in the Rumblejack, and I hate to see that his opportunity got squandered here because Owen Knight had to stoop to that level. But it is what it is. And Owen Knight will move on to the Rumblejack. We've said it before. You've called him Mr. Rumblejack in the past, GB, and he's made had some very impressive showings over the last few years in the Rumblejack. Can this year be his year to win the whole thing? We'll see. But anyways, your thoughts on this Rumblejack qualifier?
Well, I do love Shoot. I do love Shoot. I feel like
as does the whole I think the whole building.
Yeah.
Is
I mean,
at the point where they
really,
live. You hear we always talk about how everybody got hyped for Owen's theme music when they were war ready. Now everybody gets hyped for Shoot.
That's
Shoot.
right.
Shoot.
Right.
It's awesome.
It's a thing. It's
Yeah,
a whole vibe. It's a whole situation there. Everybody loves it. And he's great. He's so good. He really is. He has so much potential, and just whatever he does in the future is just going to be fire either way. Either way. Y'all know I love Owen. I do. Even though he's mean sometimes.
Dare I say he's a bad boy now?
I mean,
I know how you feel about your bad boys.
That little bit of bad boy in him because he was a bad boy when I met him, but then he chilled and whatever. But
well, don't forget he was part of the new era back in the day. So yeah,
he was.
Yeah,
he was.
yeah. And he may not be speaking to a lot of folks, but he's still hollering at me. Matter of fact, he was hollering at me when Shoot drop kicked him off the top rope before the match started. So I feel bad. Sorry, Owen, but you came away with a win. Maybe that's why I had you. I don't know. But it was a great match. Owen did his thing. Shoot brought it. That's not over. I'm gonna tell you that. That's not over. There's Shoot's not done there.
I am sure. I'm still processing where Owen is right now, because we were such big advocates for Owen, his journey to the SHW championship, his reign as an honorable SHW champion. The middle name of our company is Honor, and he actually restored honor to that championship. And just to see him going this route is kind of difficult to watch. The hard part is it's hard to argue with him if he's finding success and finding his way into the Rumblejack. I think it was last year. If it wasn't last year, it was the year before. You guys correct me on this, when he was involved in a tag match with AC Mac. And if they had lost, whoever got pinned couldn't be in the Rumblejack, and then the other person had to be at number 1.
Yeah.
AC got pinned. Owen ended up being number 1. And again, we call him Mr. Rumblejack because he does so well. But Now he's entering the Rumble Jack, and he's not forced to be number one by using these nefarious means.
Well, now here's the thing too. We don't know. And wouldn't it be something? I just now thought is, wouldn't it be something if he ends up at number one? Because we don't know what the entry numbers are going to be yet.
We don't know, but at least right now, he's not forced to be number one.
True.
Which is the key. He was forced to be number one because of that loss. And that was him trying to do the right thing. So, who knows? But it's a win. And, obviously he wanted to win to get in the Rumble Jack. So he must have plans. We'll obviously see come August the 4th.
Whew. Well, the next matchup on the card was a huge tag team match that we were all looking forward to, and it didn't quite play out as we thought it would. It was supposed to be Gunnar Miller and Corey Hollis taking on the End Games, Nick Halen, and the SHW champion, Judas. However, Todd Sexton makes his way out, grabs a microphone, and help me out here if I can remember this correctly. Basically, because he knew Jake the Snake was going to be in the house, he thought that Jake was going to find a way to screw over Judas. So he told Judas to just not show up.
Right.
Was that the gist of it, basically?
Correct. Told him to head to Chicago early.
And then so Todd Sexton was in his gear, and we're thinking, okay, so we're still going to get an in-game match, but it's going to be Todd Sexton and Nick Halen. And then Todd was like, you know what? I don't even want to have this match. And then we heard some very familiar music.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
The WWE Hall of Famer, the SHW matchmaker, a man that we knew was in the house because he would be presenting the JTS Legacy Championship later on in the night. He made his way out, had a couple of jabs at Todd Sexton, hit him with the clothesline, said that this match was indeed happening. Meanwhile, while that was happening on the floor, Nick Halen eats a spear from Gunnar Miller, a flying headbutt off the top rope from Corey Hollis. 1, 2, 3, match is over just like that.
Done.
You'll love to see it.
I love to see it.
I love to see Jake getting physical. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And by the way, we'll touch on that a little later because that wasn't all we saw of Jake the Snake. But anyways, your thoughts on this with like Judas at the last minute not showing up and this turning into Todd and Nick Halen versus Gunnar and Corey. Like, just the mind games continue with the end game. It's ridiculous.
Yes. I think just announcing them, I was totally expecting to see Judas come out, and then to see Todd, it was like, what? Are we not having a match?
Yeah.
You're retired. Are you not retired? But he was in gear. He had a little something to say. I don't have a whole lot to say about all of this except he got what he deserved. He bad talked the Snake a few times too many. He got what he deserved, and Nick Halen.
You're on fire tonight, Diana.
I see. my.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I can't really follow that. I just what she said.
What she said. Well, there you go. Well, while Jake was out there, he stuck around because, like I said, he was there for one specific reason, and that was to present the beautiful JTS Legacy Championship belt to the winner of the JTS Legacy Championship Tournament Finals. Those two competitors were Chip Day and the Kenway, a match that we covered plenty over the last couple of months because the backstory between these two guys goes way, way back, and it just so happens to coincide with this tournament and the tournament finals as well. So what a great matchup this was. We saw, a few months prior, they went to a time limit draw. The time limit is what caused the draw. Kenway did not take Chip Day to the limit. I just want to clarify that because we got threatened. So I want to make sure I say it
straight. Yes.
Yeah, I got to set it straight here. But that was a great match when they went to that 15-minute time limit draw. And we thought, we got to run this back. We want to see this again. Lo and behold, we didn't realize at the time that it was going to be the finals and going to crown the inaugural JTS Legacy Champion. And what a matchup it was. And Chip Day, the bad boy himself, Diana, would go on to become our first ever JTS Legacy Champion. And what a scene it was when Jake the Snake got in the ring presenting the title belt to our new champion. It was a very, very special moment.
It was a great match, just like we thought. Back and forth. I don't think this battle is over either. I think there's a lot more to come from this.
Guys like this, I feel like these guys are going to battle for eternity.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, in multiple promotions even. So yeah. I really feel like this, because they know each other so well. They go back so far.
Yep.
Together. I mean, they were together. Now they're whatever. I will say, when we started this tournament and we found out Chip was going to be one of the contenders for this title, he was my fave. You know, he was my pick.
What? But no.
You know it. No. You didn't know.
I never guessed it.
Well, no, you didn't.
Right. No,
but either way, it turned out exactly like I wanted it to. And nothing against Kenway, nothing at all. He's great. I mean, regardless of Chip's opinion of him and how he feels, and Kenway's great. He's got a good future ahead of him. I just did not. Is it okay if I say this? I just did not want him to win this title. I wanted Chip to win it. I did, and it's nothing against Kenway, but I wanted Chip to win it.
You can say whatever you want, Diana. Don't ever ask us for permission. You just
that's me asking myself if I should, but either way, I mean, y'all know, and like I said, it's nothing against Kenway. I would probably say that to his. I probably would say that to his face, but I love the guy. He's great, but Chip's my dude, man.
But he's no bad boy Chip Day.
He's no bad boy Chip Day.
Nope. GB.
Yeah, you know what? It's so funny. Coming into the night, we weren't sure what was going to be the main event, but leading into it, to me, this was the match that we all came to see. It was the match with the most emotion tied, the highest stakes connected to it. And I really didn't know which way it would go. Both guys were very, very tough. No idea how long this was going to go, and no idea what the other would have to do to win the match. With all of that being said, I am very happy that Chip Day finally has singles gold in SHW.
Yes. Point made.
I think we're in a space where two things can be true at the same time. Had Kenway won, I would have certainly been happy for the Kenway as well, because he's fought very, very hard. But obviously, chronicling the journey of Chris Chip Day here into SHW. Man, if there ever was a guy deserving of holding gold in our company, it's Chip Day. So, and to hold a title as prestigious as the Jake the Snake Legacy Tournament, and to have Jake the Snake present to present this title to him, just all of the things that I think are right. A fantastic match. And even though it was super, super personal between the two, and I don't think it's over, huge congratulations goes out to Chip Day, our new inaugural Jake the Snake Legacy Champion.
That's right.
Yeah, what a way to cap off the show. Or was it the cap off to the show? Because after that, all hell broke loose.
Sure did.
And we got left with a bit of a teaser for the upcoming Rumblejack, our 5th annual Rumblejack, again, August 4th. Don't miss it. But you guys are going to have to help me out here, because so many people came out at the end. I can't remember what the order was of who came out when. But one of the other favorite moments for me of the night is, if the match between Exotic Youth and Cyrus and All-Star Special wasn't enough, Jake the Snake, for the first time in over a decade, pulled out the original DDT that he made famous, the inventor of the DDT, and he couldn't have hit it on a nicer guy, that being that Punk Bryce Cannon. Tip first, right into the canvas. Oh, it was beautiful.
It was so pretty.
Absolutely beautiful. And I don't care what the internet said about him flopping around like a fish. He was hit so hard that his body was just convulsing. He couldn't control himself. Yeah. And he flopped himself almost all the way out of the ring. Oh, it was awesome. I'm so sorry. I'm getting all worked up.
No, you have that on loop, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Posted on social media. Yeah. And I just been watching it ever since, like for the last 2 weeks. That's all I can. I wake up in the morning, got to get my day going. Boom. Watch that. Today's going to be good. Get all fired up. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
It was
Love it.
awesome.
I
There
love
was
it.
there was some other chaos. There was other guys that ran out, but to me, that's the visual I was left with at the end of the show.
Yeah. Well, he was first to come out to after the Jake the Snake title match. He attacked Kenway, and then he was the last one left in the ring by Jake the Snake. So that was that's great.
Yeah,
it was great.
You know, for everyone upset about that whole ordeal, I do have one question. Have you ever taken a DDT from Jake the Snake?
Thank you. How are you supposed to act?
I don't know what you think you would react like, but when the original does it,
you don't know.
It hits different.
Yeah.
So yeah, to that end, I quite frankly, I think, you know, Bryce Cannon was lucky to be able to move and get up and walk. Because
just glad I didn't bring the snake.
Oh well.
Even if it would have been on Bryce, I would have had to dip on that one.
Yeah.
I don't like snakes myself. However, if Damien showed up, and he sick Damien on Bryce. Oh, that would just been, as Gary would say, a whole nother level.
Yeah, y'all would have had to record that because I wouldn't have been there.
Diana, I'm done. I'm out.
Right. But I will say, absolutely historic moment. Jake the Snake, our matchmaker, who has done a great job remotely. Obviously, he travels a lot, but watches us, you know, in person. But to be there physically live was incredible to see and to witness, and to see him that active was amazing. SHW52, by far one of our favorite shows.
Yes.
Definitely go back and watch it on IWTV, because you'll probably get some of the moments that we didn't get to talk about.
You know, I want to mention too, real quick. I believe it was this past Saturday. I think it was at Battle of the Belts for AEW.
It was.
And Jake teased that he was going to hit the DDT on, was it Orange Cassidy?
Orange Cassidy, yes.
Yeah, and he teased it. He didn't quite do it because Lance Archer stopped him.
Yes.
And I think there was hubbub online of people being like, oh, could he have even hit it? And whatever. And Jake even was posting like, I've still got one left. I know he's got at least one left. He hit one the other night on Bryce Cannon. So I know he's got it in him. But we were the lucky ones at the Action Building in Canton, Georgia at Southern Honor Wrestling to see the first DDT in well over a decade. And man, what a sight it was. But
let's just talk about that for a second. How amazing is it to see a legend in this business do what he's always done in our I mean, that's crazy. I was telling people about it that, you know, here, whenever I was at the gym, there's, well, how's your wrestling go? And I told them we did a show Jake Snake did DDT, and it was like, what?
Yeah.
You saw that?
The Jake the Snake?
Are you kidding? Right. Yes. Right. Sure did. It was amazing. Yes. You want to see? Let me show you.
Right here.
Yeah, because I got it right on my phone. Right,
it's right
top
here.
of the photo album.
Phone. Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's a reminder. You know, I often wonder if sometimes people recognize how special the moments are that we get to have on a regular basis, you know, whether it's Jake the Snake or whether it's AEW making the decision, hey, before we do our first pay-per-view, we're going to invade SHW, right? Like, it's not a coincidence that all of these moments happen. You know, some of the folks that have shown up at the Rumble Jack in times past, and, you know, we have had all sorts of incredible legends walk through the doors of the Action Building as part of SHW. It's why you have to be there. It's why you can't wait to, you know, hear about it online or to dismiss it as a random promotion. Hey, IWTV, how many folks do Jake the Snake show up at on your other promotions? How many of your other promotions can say, hey, we had Cody and we had Kenny Omega and we had Chris Jericho's only independent appearance since prior to WWE, right? Like, who can say that? If anything, we should be the flagship of your network based on the pure content that we provided to you all of this time. All of our fans, you know, this is how we get down, which should make you very excited about the Rumble Jack in a couple of weeks, because almost anybody could show up. 35, the biggest Rumble Jack in history. Who's going to show? We'll throw out some ideas next week, but this is why SHW is Destination TV. You need to be there live and in person so that your face can be plastered all over IWTV. And Matt Tremont and all the other folks at IWTV, you might want to find your way to Canton if you actually want to be in front of a real crowd with real production to look like you belong on TV.
Okay. Because we make you look better.
GB, I know you dropped the mic earlier, but you might have to just drop it again right there. But
yes, too.
You guys kind of beat me to the punch there, because I was going to say all this talk about Jake the Snake. We saw a big announcement from Jake earlier this week, and that is that because this is our 5th annual Rumblejack, he wants to make it bigger and better than ever. And as you mentioned, instead of 30 competitors, it's going to be 35 entrants into this Rumblejack, the biggest one yet. And
Brandon, are you going to be in it?
I told you I could barely get through the ropes. What are you talking about?
I know somebody who's probably campaigning right now to be in it. I will not mention their name. It's like Beetlejuice. Nope.
If me getting in it will prevent any member of Exotic Youth from winning, sure. But yeah.
That'd be phenomenal. That'd be phenomenal.
I got a bad back. I don't need to be getting in there.
No, we don't need you out on your back.
Yeah, I'm sticking behind the commentary booth. GB, you and I have run-ins. You mostly have run-ins with people at the commentary booth. That's as far as I want to have to deal with anybody is at the booth.
For sure.
So anyways, but 35, you just never know. That's for any show, but especially at the Rumblejack. I mean, we've had Stevie Richards showed up. You had Enzo showed up. You had Jimmy Wang Yang has shown up. I mean, there's so many. There's so many. I know I'm forgetting some big names, but
we had a dance off in there.
We've had a couple years, a couple different dance offs for sure.
Yeah, it's
so
crazy.
Here's what you should do. Here's your homework for us and for the people watching, the SHW faithful. Go back and watch the previous year's Rumblejacks, the last 4. This is 5 coming up. Go back and watch the last 4 just to get a little feel for what it's like, especially if you've never been to one before or if you've never seen one before. Just get a little taste, and then you're not going to want to miss it live in the Action Building, August 4th, 261 Marietta Road, Canton, Georgia. Tickets on sale at the door, starting at $15. Kids 10 and under are free as always. You're not going to want to miss it. And next week on this show, we will preview all the big matches, all the big entrants that we are aware of. Because here's the other thing. Just going to throw this out there. They will announce a certain number of entrants. You're going to count those number of entrants and go, well, that's not near 35. So what does that mean? It means there's a lot of guessing. There's going to be a lot of surprises. Just be ready. It's going to be exciting. We can't wait to talk to you back here next week.
Yes.
We look forward to the Rumblejack 5th annual. Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. But until then, this has been
SHW.
This is our wrestling.
Bam.